name is Nicole Kambou. I'm from Burkina Faso, West Africa.
I first met Nicole in a Sunday school class at First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to tell you that story. It's a story of how a little group of Arkansans became connected with a community in West Africa. I think it's a story about hope.
According to my parents, they said when I was 10 years old, I was saying that I want to be a nurse.
Nicole was born in 1968, a part of the Lobi tribe, a minority tribe in the southern part of Burkina Faso, a country known as Upper Volta until 1984. Her part of the country has been neglected by the government for years, lacking many services we take for granted: water, healthcare, transportation. Burkina Faso is among the poorest countries in the world. This part of Burkina is one of the neediest in the country.
And my mom always, because I wouldn't eat my breakfast, I would carry with me in school and share with other children.
In 1987, Nicole's mother died during childbirth. And losing her mother seemed to focus Nicole in a new way.
I just think of those children in the street, and I said I need to do something for them. I cannot give them all the love, but at least I can probably make their life better. Because when I go to bed, I always have this feeling of doing something for the orphans.
The orphans she's talking about? Street children. Kids whose parents are victims of AIDS, kids whose families have been slaughtered in the Civil War in neighboring Ivory Coast. She began a program of helping these children. For 9 years, she struggled to get her organization officially recognized by the government. And in 1996, the training and education program for orphan children was officially recognized. During those years, the children she shepherded swelled from 187 to 500. Now, when you and I think of a group of orphans, we think of an orphanage. Nicole doesn't have an orphanage. She doesn't have an annual budget. She places children with families who will take them. She asked her father to take 10.
And something I owe my dad a lot for that, because he did not say no. He said, okay, I can take, no problem, I can deal with that. Whatever you will eat, they will eat too.
She selected April 1st to be the Day of the Orphans. She and her brother, Urbain, went office to office, soliciting donations for food.
We just go up and try to go from office to office in the marketplaces, and ask people to make donations so we can cook food for the orphans. And whatever...
Once a year?
Once a year, April 1st.
Did that money last you for the whole year?
No, because when you buy, it's even not enough. It was never enough. People think sometimes I'm crazy doing things like that, but it hurt me when I think I have a car, I'm eating well and lay down and sleep, and those children, I don't mind, I love having better life, but at the same time, I wanted to balance it. You know, being able to provide at least food to somebody who is hungry is much important to me.
In 2001, Nicole came to America to see if any doors might open for her. This is Catherine Matchett, a former Peace Corps staffer.
So Nicole enrolled at a school in Oklahoma to study nursing and came to visit me in Little Rock one weekend, and I was supposed to be leading the Sunday school class. Instead, she talked to the Genesis class, and everyone just fell in love with her, and she wasn't asking for help of any sort, but she was just telling her story and told about the orphan program, and immediately people said, how can we help? We want to be involved.
So we're asking, how much to feed a kid or how much to send a kid to school? But it was clear that there were more basic needs to be addressed.
The community didn't have potable drinking water, and the women and girls walked for miles several times a day to transport water.
Catherine had been having an annual African dinner, dancing, drumming, potluck dinner at her home, which had been growing a little each year.
So we had the idea that we could make that a larger event and make it a fundraiser, and the money could go toward the orphan program. So we had it at the church, and 300 people showed up and donated money, and we were able to raise money to build a very nice water pump.
The pump has a life expectancy of years and years. It has minimal moving parts, it's easy to repair. And best of all, the entire community benefits. Surrounding villages gather at the pump. There's a trough to catch excess runoff and hold it for the animals to drink.
I'm Kapini. Thank you. With this installation of the water pump, we've formed a group and have made a garden. We grow vegetables that we sell. With the money that we earn, we take care of some of our needs, and we are happy.
The impact of this one well in West Africa has been enormous. This year's event benefits the United Methodist Bishops Initiative, which will fund the drilling of numerous water wells in the Congo. How many orphans are managed by ATEFO today?
Today we limit at 500.
You limit at 500?
We limit at 500, and we just took those children who are in school. Those orphans are coming from different places. And I explained them what really ATEFO is. It's not, we don't have the house, but we can help you with education. We can help you.
It can be overwhelming when we think of the needs of these kids. And because of that, that's one of the reasons that we wanted to do the Shea Butter Project. Nicole felt it was important for the orphans to have some sort of means for producing revenue. That's how the idea for the Shea Butter Project came about.
Shea butter has been used for centuries on the African continent. In Burkina Faso, it's used mostly in soap, but it's also used for cooking, lotions, and massage. In the U.S., it can often be found as an ingredient in skin lotions. Women dry the karité nut, pound it, boil it, and fry it. Then they mill it, where it becomes the consistency of peanut butter. Then they knead it with their hands to extract the oil, which is transformed into a butter form for better conservation. The entire process takes 3 days. So, in 2004, First United Methodist joined with Hoover United Methodist to put on the Dinner, Drumming, and Dancing fundraiser, providing the seed capital to begin a Shea Butter Project for the orphans. The training was successful, and the following 2 years, the fundraiser provided a building to house the manufacturing, and last year, a milling machine. This machine allows them to expand their operations to include grinding grain, making peanut butter, and soap. The orphans sell the goods and use the proceeds to buy food, clothing, and textbooks, as well as vaccinations and health care. This year, sales of Shea Butter here at the event go directly to the Burkina Faso orphans. Many of us also assist in funding Nicole's tuition in nursing school, where she's scheduled to graduate in May.
So my nursing really is not doing nursing to make money. I need money, of course, to have material, but I'm going back home to work for the orphans.
She's experienced more adversity than any of my friends, and yet is the most positive, most spiritual, giving, hardworking person that I've ever met. And she's an inspiration because despite all that she's been through and that she's seen people go through who are dear to her, she has this positive outlook on life and continues to try to help anyone who comes across her path.